I think the movie was fucking good. And I just got back from watching Superman. And I like doing these right after watching a movie just because it's fresh in my mind. And honestly, I think my outfit ate. Like, look at that. Can you get any more hippie than that? Like, my outfit literally fucking ate, and I love that. Well, just a shirt. Just worry about the shirt. That's all that matters. I was wearing jeans and boots, whatever. Anyway, the movie was so good. I really do think the movie was really good, and I don't even think it was like a matter of like the movie was like the best movie ever or like the best superhero movie ever, because it really wasn't. Like it really was not the best superhero movie ever by any means. Is it the best super? Is it the best DC movie ever? I also don't know because I don't really watch DC movies mostly because they've been all boring. Like a lot of DC movies that I've seen have either been really boring or just not vibing with it, if that makes sense. Like the Batman movie that came out, the Matt Reeves version, I think is what it was called. Like that was really good. I really fucking enjoyed that, but that wasn't really part of the DCU. Like the Flash movie that came out, I liked it, but I didn't like it. Like I would not watch it again. There was no sentiment of me watching it ever again, and I really don't really care to watch it again because it was just like a okay movie, if that makes sense. Like it was just like nothing special, nothing crazy, and okay. And then like all the other like Batman or Superman, didn't really like it. Superman, Man of Steel, I was bored halfway through, stopped watching it. And then what's the other Batman movie that came out before that? I don't know. But the point is, they've been boring or just been like meh, whatever, you know. And but this movie, I actually had a great time watching it, and not even a great time watching it because it had comedic elements to it or this and that, because it had everything combined so well. And you know what? I'm gonna get the spoiler territory here, just FYI. But like Lex Luthor, they wrote that character so fucking well, so fucking good. They did him right. They did him what I thought a supervillain would be like, honestly, and I love that so much. And the fact they cut out that one scene, like wherever I think Ultraman punches Crypto, I think that should not have happened. That really should not have happened in any way, shape, or form, because that just would up the ante of how evil Lex Luthor is. And I just love how evil he is right now as he stands. And just adding that would have been like, oh my god, fuck this guy, fuck this guy. Because in my head, I'm already thinking, fuck this guy, fuck this guy. And there's so many times where like he's just such a fucking like a horrible motherfucker, honestly. And I love that. I really love that they really played him to be an actual bad guy, not just like a goofy villain, like a goofy cartoony bad guy. No, like he doesn't give a fuck about people. He doesn't give a fuck about just like the well-being of anybody, destroying the world, whatever. Like he hates Superman and he wants to make sure Superman is just gone forever. Like nobody gives a fuck about that, and he hates him so fucking much. And I love how he uses that hate to fuel how evil he is. Like Lex Luthor was such a great character and such a great villain, and the fact that he almost won, like, is just, well, he didn't almost win, but everything he did, like almost destroying the world with that ripple, like he was like, we have to shut down the ripple or the earth is gonna like go into a black hole or whatever. He's like, I don't give a fuck, I want Superman to fucking die or whatever, you know, like that was so fucking cool. And then not even just that, but also the fact where like he wants to invade Jur Herpenheim, Jur Herpenheim or whatever, just because like he wants that half to be king. To me that's so crazy. Like literally he said, man, fuck all these citizens, kill them all, kill them all. And just no hesitation, no nothing, bam, love that. I really fucking did. Or like whenever he took Mr. Element's kid and he was just using that as like a fucking, not even leverage, literal torture for the guy, so to make sure that he does what he says. Because it wasn't a matter of like, hey, I have your kid, don't worry about where, but I have him. No, he puts him right in front of him in the next jail cell, and make sure he sees his kid just suffering, crying, and being sad. Like, you know how fucking evil you must be to have that? To like just want that to be the case? Like to me that's so fucking great writing for how evil he is. And then like the actor portrayed him so well. Like, oh, he died. Oh well. Hey, look, it's your kid. Yeah, that kid you love? Yeah, he's over there being tortured, you know, just FYI. And granted he wasn't being tortured, but you know. And then like all that was such good writing. And even the other heroes, like I will say, Green Lantern and Nighthawk, they didn't really have a huge part in the movie. They were literally like mostly just comedic. What's it called, the comedic team, I guess you could say. Like they didn't really play a part. But Mr. Terrific, somebody who I've never heard of because, like I said, I'm not a really big comic book guy, but he did so well, and they wrote him off so well because like I love how consistent he stayed throughout the movie. Where like he's like, you know what, machine guy, not really a people guy, don't really go fuck about people. but he's still a good guy because you know he wants to do good. You know what I mean? But it's like a matter of like that stayed with him because like with the interaction with him and Lois Lane, where he's like, you know what, I don't really care about what's going on. I just want to make sure that like what's it called? Um, oh fuck, I forgot what it was. Basically, like what was going on. Like he went to a pocket dimension and that's dangerous. I want to make sure that it doesn't blow up the world because I live in the world and I love that. It wasn't like a hey, let's save Superman. It was like a hey, yeah, we have to get if he is in a pocket dimension, let's fucking go. You know, because he doesn't really care about anything else. And then like his fighting scene whenever he was protecting Lois Lane, that fighting scene went so fucking hard because he didn't need powers. Like he was just so calm and so cool and fighting everybody with his little like mechanical balls and everything. That that shit was so fucking cool, and it gave me really like obviously James Gunn because he was director, but like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, whenever they were doing that, like fighting in that big ass hallway, it gave me those vibes because it was just like the camera panning all in one take, and it was so good and so fucking it was goofy. It was goofy, but it was goofy in the best way possible to where it worked with the action, and I love that so much. And then Crypto, oh my god, Crypto was such. I love Crypto in this movie because like I really thought Crypto was gonna play no part in this movie or do anything, and for a lot of the movie, yeah, he really didn't do much, but he really helped play into Superman's character, into Superman being like the hero who wants to do good and help protect everybody. And in those same terms, whenever Crypto was missing, they helped take Crypto. Yeah, Crypto was the one who helped him decide, hey, I'm turning myself in so I can go save Crypto. And if it wasn't for that like push for him to do that, then probably the movie would have gone a completely separate way, you know. But I really am happy that Crypto was used the way he was used because Crypto was a fighter. He was also the most adorable dog ever, and he was also just like a bad dog, the kind of dog that you don't really train, you just have around, and he doesn't like listen to you. But he's a good dog, you know what I mean? Like he lays down, he sits, and this and that. But he's not like just a robotic dog that just listens to everything you say and does everything perfectly and just like you know a good amazing dog. And I love that about him. They really played really well with Crypto and just like how he did everything, honestly. And at the end of the day, like I said, most of these characters did a really good job. The reason why I say most is because just the way they used Green Lantern and Hawk Girl, I don't really like. I guess you could say I really wish they would have played more into like their powers and what they can do. Because obviously, you know, they did use their powers and they did fight and everything. But like I said, they were more like a comedic stand-in, if that makes sense. They were there to like push the comedy more. You know what I mean? And I don't mind that. I really don't mind that at all. I mean, at the end of the day, it has to be an entertaining movie, not just serious and greedy and this and that, as most DC movies have been. And so I don't mind them doing that in any shape, way, or form whatsoever. But I really do wish that they had a little more part because like Hot Girl, like I saw her fight like twice, I guess you could say, and then like Green Lantern, whenever we do see him fight, he fought in goofy ways. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't fighting like in a serious like oh I'm gonna win. He was fighting like a hey you know what I'm just here and thanks to me y'all won haha like a really what's it called really what's greedy not greedy hold on give me a second I am fumbling up all my words big headed that's the word big headed motherfucker and you know and I like I said I really did enjoy the way they played the characters, but I just wish that like you use them a little more, if that makes sense. But I do really enjoy them, and like even the people who weren't super in this world, like Lois Lane, I really like how Lois Lane wasn't just like a little like a love figure. She also helped push the plot forward and just like hey, you know, I may not love Superman, but I really care for him and I don't want him to like, you know, disappear. So secretly I do love him. So let's go save him. You know what I mean? Like I really did like that where like she wasn't sure but she was sure or something and like I don't know. But overall, like I really enjoyed the movie. Like you know what? Let's talk about the bad guys a little more. Angela and Ultraman. Oh my god. They were so good as bad guys. Their action sequences were so good. I really do think that Angela was a little bit overpowered, if that makes sense. Like he explained that he injected like I think nanites into her bloodstream, and so that made it be able to transform into anything. And while okay, I get that, a lot of her powers don't make sense. Like what like she was able to create rotating blades in her hands, cool, but also she could throw them, like and keep them spinning. Like what the fuck? Maybe momentum, but like how does that even work? Like do you just mass produce them in your body? Because even whenever like trying to kill Superman and trying to like get all those nanites like you know to go into his body to kill him, like A, how did that not kill him? How did that not kill him? And B, Because she just mass produced them, because that's exactly what was happening. Like, it makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever how she was able to mass produce him in a way to cover his entire body and then just like go inside of him and like, you know, this and that. Like, what the fuck? And even in that same stance of that same scene, like, how not really how is he flying, because obviously he's Superman. You don't explain how he's flying, he's just flying. But it's also a matter of like, you know, like, because like covering him in nanites wasn't gonna help him not fly because he's just flying. And I don't know. Overall, I think she was a little overpowered and her powers were just not really explained. But Ultraman, I really enjoyed how Ultraman wasn't just like what was a robot, if that makes sense. Like, obviously he wasn't a robot, he was just like a clone of Superman, which to me was a crazy great twist. That was such a good twist in my opinion, because it's a matter of like, what the fuck, like what, like I wasn't ready for that. I really was ready for something like on that, on the same scope of like Superman's strength, or maybe like I said, even like a robot or this and that. But no, it was just a copy of Superman explaining why he was such like as strong or anything. And so I really fucking enjoyed that. I really fucking like that. But overall, I mean, that was really it. Honestly, I didn't really like Angela. She was a little bit unexplainable, of an explainable what's it called, person or villain, I guess you could say. But overall, it was a good movie. It was a really good movie, and I had a really great time. I think overall, I would give it like an 8 out of 10, mostly because, like I said, Superman was kind of a pussy in this movie, mostly because he didn't want to like do a lot of things, or he didn't want to go like too crazy. And I understand that. I mean, he's a good guy. Him being Superman is just him being a good guy, and like he was being used and this and that, blah blah. But overall, I think the movie was a really good movie. I really had a great time, and I think it was like a really great step into a great DC universe. In honesty, like I have no idea what's next. I think from what I read on the internet, Supergirl's next, and that's a whole another can of worms to open. But I'm really excited. I really am so excited, and I really hope that, like, obviously I don't want every movie to be like this, because at some point it just gets generic and it gets like really boring, aka what's happening with Marvel. But I do want DC Universe to be able to like make great movies in the same sense of like they're all enjoyable to watch, not just boring, no color, gritty, the stories don't make sense. Like, I don't want any of that. I want it all to be cohesive, a great story. And you know what, if it leads to a Justice League movie, like, you know, like Avengers kind, where the first Avengers movie had like 5 heroes in it, and now it had like, you know, it had like a great fucking Infinity War moment, great. But if it doesn't, and it's just like stories that just go together randomly, or stories that has random cameos, I wouldn't mind that at all either. I really wouldn't mind it. I just want to love superhero movies again, because nowadays with superhero movies, every time they come out, I'm just like, oh, another superhero movie, cool, whatever. Like, I'm not really too excited about it. Like Fantastic Four, I'll say this: I'm really excited for Fantastic Four. I really am. But my hopes are not through the roof. I'm not like, oh my god, that movie's gonna be the best thing ever, this and that, blah blah blah. A big reason why I'm excited for that movie is because it leads up to Avengers. And Avengers movies have a history of like not disappointing me. They've all been really good. The worst Avengers movie that I could talk about isn't even like worst because it was a bad movie. It's just the worst because it's just a matter of like they're all so good that this one is just like not the best. And so, you know, like that's the only reason why Fantastic Four is even on my radar for, oh my god, an amazing movie, because I'm excited for Avengers. And hopefully, like, DC Superman and hopefully DC movies don't have that for me. I'm not excited because it leads up to something else. I'm excited for it because it just seems like a really good movie and is a really great movie. And hopefully DC is able to like actually do that and actually deliver such great movies. And obviously, you know, I could be wrong, and then at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter what my opinion is, and this movie could be the worst movie ever, and I just have a horrible take on it. But I liked it, honestly, and I just want to talk about it just because I had such a great time watching it. And yeah, honestly, take care. I hope you go watch it, and I hope you have a great time. Goodbye.